Tulsi Gabbard is a former member of Congress from Hawaii, ran for president last cycle. She joins us tonight with her assessment. Congressman, thanks so much for coming on. So given everything the country faces right now, both domestically and abroad, why are the news networks colluding with a political party to tell us this is the most important thing?
Because whether you're talking about the mainstream media or you're talking about Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, or Congress, frankly, they don't care about the real threats that we face domestically to our freedoms and our democracy. So instead, they're focusing on this. They don't want to deal with the real issues that Americans are struggling with every day across the country: increasing inflation, rising gas prices, increasing crime, open borders. The list goes on and on about the very real domestic issues that we face. And frankly, they've abdicated on their most important responsibility in Congress, the one that Constitution says only Congress has, which is the power to declare war or not. So, you know, you've talked about this, Tucker. We just saw how Congress rushed through this additional funding bill of $40 billion towards this war in Ukraine. We are not only in a cold war with Russia, we are in a hot war with Russia, with Ukraine as the proxy. And there was no serious debate whatsoever about really what the consequences of this bill would be, and frankly, whether or not we should even be in a war with Russia or frankly any other country. So this goes back to what are their priorities? Every member of Congress takes an oath of office and swears to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. Well, the Constitution provides all of us with very specific rights and freedoms enshrined in that Constitution. Right now, we've got the Biden administration, we've got the Department of Justice, the mainstream media, big tech, all colluding to undermine our rights and civil liberties and freedoms. I don't see Congress taking action to address and deal with that threat. So if they really wanted to uphold their oath that they swore, that's exactly what they should be focused on right now.
I think the most disturbing moment a year and a half later, looking back, is the moment where Lindsey Graham turned to the Capitol Police and said, "You have guns, use them." Now, they had just shot an unarmed military veteran to death who stood about 5 feet tall. And I guess what bothers me the most is that nobody cared. I mean, police take life. Often it's justified. We've defended it on this show. But to not investigate it or explain it suggests that the life that was taken was worth nothing. And that is the message that they're sending. This woman's life didn't mean anything. It wasn't, we just killed her and threw her away. I mean, how can members of Congress sit there and allow that?
Members of Congress are not, again, they don't have their priorities straight. So much of this has been politicized. It's been sensationalized with very specific objectives that have nothing to do with upholding the Constitution or what's in the best interest of the country and the American people. And I think the way that this hearing has been actually not even so-called produced, it's literally being produced by somebody, I think, who is from ABC News in order to try to come with with an objective that has nothing to do, again, with what's best for the people, what's best for the Constitution. They're trying to achieve their own political interests. And it's just really sad that they're abusing their power in order to do that.
This is the kind of propaganda show that we used to make fun of when it took place in totalitarian. When you were a kid, you remember that? I mean, we had this vibrant, lively news media, and people debated things, and we'd look over at these totalitarian hellholes and say, you know, they turn on their TVs and they get this pre-produced lying. How shocking is this?
This is not America, and this is what's so crazy and what's angering and sad. All of these things at the same time is this is not the vision that our founders had for America. And these people who serve in the people's house, members of Congress literally go to work every day in the people's house. And it just seems like so many of them have forgotten that that's who they work for, that it's such a privilege to have that responsibility. I'm grateful to have had it and to see them going every day and abusing that privilege, abusing that responsibility, and not at all focused on what's in the best interest of the people. Should be concerning for every American across the country. And that's why we have elections. We have the opportunity to fire those who are not putting the American people in our country first.
I think this every time we talk. You are one of the most temperamentally moderate and sensible and even-keeled people I've ever talked to. And you were considered a radical in the Congress. It just tells you everything about them. We're always grateful when you're on. Tulsi Gabbard, thank you.